Hello again. Welcome back. I hope you're having a great day, and thank you for taking the time to join me here on our daily trade review for a beautiful Thursday. Up in Canada, the leaves are turning, they are falling to the ground. Fall is on its way, and it's only September 4th, so buckle up, get your snow shovels ready. What? Yeah, no, it'll snow soon. Today was not a great day in the market, pretty slow. And when we have slow days, we see, those that be pump China stocks because they're, micro floats, right? And for some reason, the algorithms will just buy them up, but they also liquidate them down. So it's easy come, easy go. Something that I really like to avoid, similar to a penny stock, right? Um, it's something that people do while there's nothing to do because they're bored. And you'll see everybody knows the next China stock or the next penny stock. Oh, I got the sympathy play, right? Um, Things become very, muddied. Focus is not there. You'll see the theme start one day with a runner, and we had that with HWH. Um, but then everybody comes out of the woodwork, right, with their next big idea, and the volume is dispersed around the board, and then nothing goes, and you just get pop and fades. Uh, we were already familiar with. So when you get all these sympathies, just play the original. There's no need to play second place. Just sit back with the winner. A sympathy is never going to outperform the main runner, right? And when the main runner dies, all the sympathies are going to die as well. So why not just play the lead dog? With that being said, we're still going to talk about it. ZNB on the top. No news, but it's China, right? And, it's micro float 2000. Like, what is that even? I don't even know how this exists. Gets the pop, recovers VWAP. Wicked run last night in after hours while we were filming. Comes back down, holds trend, right? Holding the 200, pop, pop, holding the 200, mega pop right into open. But then after that, get melted and can't reclaim VWAP, get super melted. So we talked about this the other day actually in our GameStop video. When something breaks through VWAP, tries to reclaim and fails, it's probably going to break down and bleed. And here's a great reason as to why we don't like to play China stocks. The liquidation here is unreal. So you might see something run after hours in pre-market. China without news, it's okay to play. But during regular trading hours, it just gets melted. Very common. And we see that on the bottom screen here as well with CIGL, another China stock, no news. Getting the volume though, holding VWAP, reclaiming it from that tiny little breakdown. Nice expansion off of that, a break of structure here. And then another one into open, similar, but then again, birds of a feather flock together. This one doesn't die as bad, but still nothing that I'd want to be a part of. And the transition from ascending to descending is like very quick. HWH was a day 3, right? This was really nice for us here. If we go to our 1 day, kind of a sloppy day 3, but people have been so excited about them that they've been going a little bit early. And I guess this didn't even break out, but that's the difference between a clean inside bar and a sloppy inside bar, right? We still play it, but we don't expect as much. So we have our first day, right? Volumetric mover. Day 2, inside bar consolidation. Now this is consolidating and finished within the bar, day 1 candle, but has the wick out up in the wick of day 1, right? And that's kind of what makes it sloppy. We'd like the whole thing to be within the body of day 1. And then day 3, we're just kind of watching for volume to come in, waiting for the candle or the body of day 1 to break, right? In this case, it was already above because people are just giddy about it. That is what it is. And then we're also trying to get over, which would typically be first. We did this in the wrong order, right? Like first we want to get over the day 2 wick, right? And then we want to get over the day 1 body, because this is supposed to be consolidating down more, where the wick is now within the body, right? So we want to break that wick first, then we want to break the body, and then we want to break finally, the wick of the day 1 candle to go. But because it's sloppy, we don't really get that. We can zoom in here. There's another nice play here in the afternoon. Reversal signal, VWAP reclaim, the key level, into a trend retest, the 21 moving average, which is also a re-entry into a fair value gap right here, right? Which is awesome. It respects it. So you take your entry in the fair value gap on the trend retest. The stop loss is below trend, below your fair value gap. Beautiful. Let that rip, right? But earlier in the mornings where we were focused on it, right, where we see, the after hours action and the pre-market action, which kind of made it not work, but it also gave us conviction on the play, right, where it was holding this level, right, from the day before that we drew out. And so that's like the body of day 1, right? Then here's the wick of day 2, and then the wick of day 1. So we are basing above that in the morning, shows strength, right? And then we break above it in the morning. Okay, so this is definitely a thing, right? So we're watching it. It's going a little earlier than we'd like it to, right? We want to wait till market open for it to go. But everybody gets excited because they know this is probably has a high chance of working out. So we have our reversal signal. We have our key level breakout. We have our trend retest entries anywhere here. I was a little early. I entered on the break of structure, right? When we broke this wick here, right? But that coincides perfectly with our trend retest consolidation. I was just trying to chase it a little bit. Stop loss below our low, right? Our pullback low under VWAP from that consolidation phase. Get our 1-to-1, get our 2-to-1, miss our 3-to-1, but still a pretty nice trade, right? All in all. And like the news here is not even great. It's just like they issued a letter to stockholders highlighting company updates and outlooks, and I don't even think it was good. They were like, we only have 8 months of cash left. They didn't say it like that. They said, we don't expect to need to fund operations until down the road. But it's like, you're bleeding cash. You're going to need more cash. I don't want to be in a share offering with you, right? Specifically on like a company I don't care about. So, not great, right? However, and this is a little aggressive too. I didn't even notice that until just now. Oops. There was a gap down. It gaps down and then reclaim the gap. So this is cool. We like to play gap fill strategy. And when we reclaim the gap here, I never even noticed this. Oh my gosh. When we reclaim the gap, re-enter it, you could take your entries in the gap with the stop loss below. Right? So your entry would have been a little bit better and the stop loss would have coincided down a bit. So a similar trade. I just didn't even notice that gap till now. That's pretty cool. Typically, we like to play the gap fill strategy on a halt up, re-enter, and then go. And then if it halts down, it's a short gap where you'd want to take a short position in the gap with a stop above. Potentially, we didn't really even get in the gap here though. However, when you invalidate those plays, they become the opposite of what they were. Right? So we invalidate it, we're above it, and then it kind of becomes the opposite. And we're basically holding this gap now, which is interesting. So let's, see how this plays out tomorrow. Again, it's a China stock. It's not great. Don't play them. Don't even look at them. But it's what was in the market today. Things aren't always moving really good in the small cap arena, so we take what is given. So this was HWH. Sorry, this wasn't the news. BBLG was our news runner with the letter to shareholders. Also post earnings, which is not bad. That's a theme of past weeks. Okay, so what do we have going here? Our first play, I guess, is a little slow here. This at the time would have been a bearish order block. So we're entering with a stop loss below that off the VWAP reclaim. You see, like, we don't really have a candle reclaim VWAP. Like, they're all with VWAP in the middle of the candle, right? This one, maybe you could argue. I didn't take it. This candle here potentially could have been an entry, but even then, but this candle, right? This is the one we like, where it opens and closes above VWAP, right? That's our entry. Our stop loss below the order block. You could potentially put it below the wick. I'm using the body here. Get our 1-to-1, and then, borderline stop out. So if you stopped out on this, I understand, right? You need to protect yourself. But just like we want the candles to close above, open and close above, we want that here too. And you could argue that this is the candle here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that's touching, right? So, it's not great. So stop loss here could have been a little better, right? We shouldn't have used the body of the candle. We should have been using the wick of the candle. And that's going to eliminate a lot of uncertainty, a lot of negative psychology while you're in the trade, because we've got that buffer and we're protected by the 200. In, reality, we put it here because we weren't expecting this. And, potentially this is scary. Potentially you stay in it. That's going to, rely on your execution and discipline, I guess, as a trader, right? However, if you stayed in it, you are good, right? You did get out again, and then you got, your runners to go as well. If you didn't, then we take re-entries. Like if you get stopped out on something, and then it looks good again, why not re-enter, right? So we have our reversal signal, we have our VWAP reclaim, right? Get in on that. So we are looking for a trend retest, but this green candle's like no, so that's kind of where we enter here. Stop loss below the recent pullback, and almost get burned again immediately. But it holds the 200, and we go. So in this situation, so I'm trying to wait for the stock price to reclaim VWAP for confirmation, right? You would do better off just picking it up off the 200 risk reward wise. But now you have no confirmation. You got to be scaling out when you hit VWAP because there's a good chance it rejects. And it's this whole song and dance at that point, right? So these just the difference between confirmation and non-confirmation trading. Both have their merits, of course. So this gets its 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and 3-to-1 if you got the fill. Now I understand that this is like not great, right? Maybe you didn't get the fill there and you're just sticking with your 2-to-1, but you got multiple exits on this 2-to-1 that would have been really easy to get a fill on, right? So that's okay as well. So a couple trades on this today, which was great. And again, this was the letter to shareholders, which again wasn't substantial whatsoever, and they need to raise cash. But you know what it wasn't? It wasn't China play. That's just going to get obliterated. All three, even the day 3 inside bar China play, like ZBN, and this is why you don't play them, specifically if you're, an inexperienced trader. There's a lot of danger to be had here on the right side of the apex. Left side, you can make a lot of money, but the transition from left to right is abrupt. It's very, very fast. So that's that. Not much for you guys today. The S&P 500, I think, was basically making new highs. Oh. We were joking about this. Oh, what's going to happen to the market? Green bar, everything, green bar. No matter what happens, green bar. So that's just kind of the mood we've been in for a really long time. We need a retracement, but logic is being defied here weeks and weeks in a row. So stocks being affected by inflation, clearly. Uh, all fun and games until the market crashes, right? So, it's okay if your grocery bill goes up as long as your portfolio is going up as much or more. If you don't have the portfolio and it's only your groceries going up, it's only your rent going up, oh man, not a good time out there. Um, so I'm as displeased as I am. I'm happy to see the market just going up like this, right? So um, it's good while it lasts, and we need to make sure that we lock in some profits along the way when we do get there, right? When things kind of start to come back around, which they will. Nothing goes up forever, right? So that's all I really have for you guys today. Have a magical day, and I'll see you soon in the next. Take care. Make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel.